Greetings, everyone. My name is Gilbert, and on behalf of Vroman's Bookstore, I'd like to thank you for joining us for our virtual event with Justin Dean as he presents his new book, Awesome Dog 5000 versus the Kitty Cat Cyber Squad, which can be purchased by clicking on the buy button below, and also, might I say, is in the running for just the best title that I've heard so far this year. So for now, Vroman's Live will continue to host virtual events, which you can learn more about on our website, as well as our social media. Our next event is Thursday, May 6th at 6 p.m. as we host Paulina Milana, discussing her book, Committed, A Memoir of Madness in the Family. For regular updates on upcoming Vroman's Live events, please feel free to subscribe to our newsletter and follow us on social media. Now, today's virtual event will have a Q&A component. So to submit a question, please use the Ask a Question button at the bottom of the screen right over here. If you see a question on the list you'd like our author to answer, please click the like button, which is the little arrow on the side. We'll try to answer as many questions as time will allow. And since we're talking about all the business at the bottom of the screen, another reminder that you can purchase a copy of today's featured book, Awesome Dog 5000 versus the Kitty Cat Cyber Squad, by clicking on that buy button directly below the viewer's screen right here. The link will redirect you to our websites. Now, Vroman's is the oldest independent bookstore in Southern California. We are 127 years old. We've been around since 1894, and it's thanks to avid readers and our generous patrons like yourselves who keep our business alive. So we appreciate every bit of your support. All right, now let's get to our author. Fun fact, Justin Dean is an award-winning writer of television commercials who has led national campaigns for brands such as South Park, Conan, and the Olympics. Now he writes bizarro and funny books for kids too. He lives in Los Angeles with his wife and 2 kids. Unfortunately, they don't have any robot pets yet. Visit him at justinwritesbooks.com. You can also find him on YouTube under Awesome Draw 5000 and on Instagram at JDDean5000. Vroman's patrons, please welcome Justin Dean. Justin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Very excited.
Yeah, so are we, and just I just want to reiterate my my love for the title of this book because it's just me and an office mate actually were discussing. I was like, oh yeah, I'm hosting that event. She's like, oh, the one with that really great title, and I was like, yep, that's the one.
Yeah, I think that 90% of the reason why Awesome Dog got made is because of just the title alone. People seem to really gravitate toward whatever a book call is about. Dog 5000. So yeah,
excellent.
Thank you.
Take it away.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Vormans, for having me. Thank you, everybody that is watching right now. I am Justin Dean, the author and illustrator of Awesome Dog 5000 versus the Kitty Cat Cyber Squad. If you are interested in getting this book or the paperbacks of the other 2 books, as mentioned before, you can check it out at Vormans. As an author and illustrator, I not only write the books, but I also draw all the pictures in the books. And so today, rather than doing, a typical virtual event where I sit and talk about the book and how, I came up with the ideas and all of those things, which is perfectly fine, but I thought we could do a little bit more interactivity. So what I wanted to do today is I thought that we could learn how to draw a character from Awesome Dog. And so what I want to do now is to show you just how interactive this is going to be. Hello, Miss Keppel from Mrs. Keppel's class. Awesome. I'm so glad you joined me. Exactly. So what I was going to say was to show you just how interactive I want to make this. In the chat, I want you all to vote, whoever's watching, if you want me to show you how to draw Awesome Dog, or if you want me to show you how to draw a cat, one of the Kitty Cat Cyber Squads, okay? So if you want to vote for Awesome Dog, you can write dog or cat, or if you want to write Awesome Dog or Kitty Cat Cyber Squad. So in the chat right now, and whoever gets the most votes, I will show you how to draw that one. I will give you all. Erica says cat. We've got 1 for cat. Jim votes for both. All right, so it's 2 for cat, 1 for dog. Anybody else? I'm going to only leave it open for a couple more minutes. Miss Keppel, did you have a vote? Erica, scream cat. You only vote once. You can only vote once. All right, it looks like, you know what? We'll do the cat first. Both, screaming both. Okay, we're gonna do the cat. So the first thing we're gonna need is for everybody to get a piece of paper and something to write with. You can use a pen, a marker, a crayon, whatever you want to use, but you just need to have something to write on, and then something to write on. And here we go. I'm gonna get set up. So, all right. So I'm assuming. Oh, all right. Thank you, Ms. Keppel and Owen. All right. So we're gonna do the cat first. Okay. So let's clear this. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a circle. All right. So you want to figure out about midway through the page and a little bit off to the right is where you're going to draw the head of the cat. So you're just going to do a circle. Oops. And then make sure there's a little space there on the left side. All right. Now we're going to draw the ear, which is like kind of like a bent triangle. So it's going to go up here, down there, just like that. Bring that up a little bit. All right, we've got one ear. Now we're going to draw a second ear, okay? We're going to do like a partial, just a little bit of a triangle poking on the other side of its head, just like that. Excellent. Now we're going to draw its little nose, okay? So you want to figure out about halfway through the circle and off to the right a little bit, you're going to draw a semicircle, the bottom part of a semicircle, just like that. Flatten the top part off, maybe trim the sides a little bit. All right, just a little nose. Next, we're going to draw the eyes. Now, the Kitty Cat Cyber Squad are bad guys, right? And so I didn't want to have them have big, open, round, circular eyes like Awesome Dog. I wanted them to have a very evil look to them. So we're going to draw another type of triangle, but it's going to be a sideways triangle. But we're going to just do the two lines like this, like that. Just like it's a permanent scowl. Two lines like a sideways V. Right? And we're going to close out the right side. Just a little bit of curve like that. Now we're going to do the other side for the other eye, but we're not going to do all of it because the way that the cat's turned with this angle and perspective we have, we're not going to be able to see all of it. So we're just going to do a little bit of the eye. Just that. All right, got two eyes. Now, the Kitty Cat Cyber Squad has razor sharp teeth in the jaws for chomping things. And so we're going to draw the jaw and start pretty wide, about right here. I'm going to go around in a circle because they've got kind of like a smile to them. And then when you come, close it off at the bottom just like that. Now we're going to draw the teeth, and we're going to use a little bit thinner line than the rest of the illustration because the teeth to show the difference between the teeth and the exterior lines of the body. And we're just going to do like a zigzag, so it's going to go down, up, down, up, down, just like that. All right, so we've got the head of the kitty cat. Now we're going to draw the body. And just like the head, it's just another circle, okay? So we're going to start the circle about right here and behind its ear. I'm going to wrap all the way around and stop just short of closing off the circle. So it's just going to be just like that. When we get to this point, we're going to make a little half arc like that. And then close off the rest of the body. Perfect. Now with that space is where we're going to put the kitty cat's leg. To do the leg, we're going to do 2 lines. First line's going to be the long line, and that one's going to go on the outside. It's going to go down like that. And we're going to draw the second line. It's going to be shorter. It's going to draw it like that, just like that. Up a little bit. Perfect. Now we're going to make another semicircle. But this is going to be the top part of the semicircle. So we're going to do it. Oops, it was an eraser. We're going to go up like that. Stop. And then a line all the way across the connector. Just like that. That's your first foot. I could probably fix that a little bit. All right, and then we're going to draw the second leg, and that one's going to be the same thing, 2 lines. So one line's going to come down like that, and another line like that. Then we're going to do another semicircle, and this way, up just like that. Perfect. All right, now we're going to do the back legs. And back legs, oops, we're going to go down one like this, and then a little bit longer line. And the same thing with the semicircle for the feet, out like that, and then close it off. And then for the second foot, all the way in the back, line down, and across, line down, and then a little curve right there, just like that. And the last thing we got to do is the tail. For the cat's tail, it's always usually in the kitty cat cyber squad tails are usually L shape. So what we're going to do is go up, round, up, and down, just like that. Oops, sorry, just like that. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to get it angled. There we go. And then the finishing touch for the tail is another zigzag line right here at the end. Just like that. And another one just like that. All right. Now, at this point, you have done all of the line work for your kitty cat cyber squad. The last thing you need to do now is color. And you can color the kitty cat cyber squad any color you want. I personally, when I created the book, I made the final version of the kitty cat cyber squad. They're kind of like a metallic silver. So we go to our palette here, and so all you need to do on your piece of paper is just drag your color onto the picture, just like that. It's so easy to color. I'm just kidding. Obviously, it's easier for the iPad to color. But you can color the kitty cat cyber squad whatever color you want, and that's it. You have your very own kitty cat cyber squad, and then the very last thing you need to do is you just sign the bottom. Can't get the angle. Can't even see the signature. Oh well. All right. Anyway, so you sign it. There you go. That's how you draw the Kitty Cat Cyber Squad. I hope everybody did an amazing job. In the chat, did everybody do a good job making their kitty cat? Yes or no? Gemma says she did. All right, that's great. No, kind of. Well, that's okay. I moved a little fast. We're doing a lot of stuff, so I wanted to make sure that we had time for everything. So I'm sure, Miss Keppel, I'm sure it looks amazing. All right. So next, what we're going to do is everybody with another piece of paper. We grab another piece of paper. I got something fun for us to do. We are going to do the fun fact trivia game. Okay, so I don't know how many of you out there have read the series, or maybe you're just interested in the series. But I'm going to give 10 questions about the Awesome Dog 5000 series, and everybody can write down their answers to see if they get it right, okay? And I'm going to have to leave it to you, the honor system, to decide if, no cheating, so to decide if you got it right, okay? So I'm going to give the question, you write down your answer, and then I'll tell you the answer and you see if it's right. Now, the person that gets the most questions correct, I will give you, I'll drop off at Vroman's for you to pick up this limited print edition illustration from Awesome Dog 5000 Book 1, okay? So the person out there watching that gets the most answers correct out of this fun fact trivia game for Awesome Dog will get that cool illustration. Okay, so everybody put on your thinking caps for these questions that I'm about to do. This is really difficult without having any interaction with anybody, by the way, except just an occasional chat box. Okay, the first question, if everybody's ready. Question 1. Ralph from the book, Ralph Rogers has a rock collection that looks like which, let me scoot over, which president? Which president? Ralph has a rock collection that looks like which president? So everybody, you write your answers down. And if you're particularly bold, you could put the answer in the chat if you feel so confident that you know the answer. Mrs. Keppel says Abraham Lincoln, and the answer is Abraham Lincoln. That's correct. Ralph Rogers has a rock collection, which you can see in the very first book, and you can also see it, a little Easter egg, in the background, way in the background. When Ralph is hanging out, you can see the shelf in the second book with all of the Abraham Lincoln rocks that he collected. Another fun fact is that originally in the first book, I actually did an illustration with about 18 versions of rocks that look like Abraham Lincoln. I did make the final cut of the book because the illustration was too big and it was kind of silly and pointless to have a giant picture of rocks, but some fun fact. All right, question two. What is Skylar's absolute favorite color? Ooh, so many colors to choose from. What is Skylar's favorite color? Gemma says she thinks she knows it. She says purple. Everybody writes their answer down. Ruby says purple. Miss Keppel says punk purple. Look how specific that is. The answer is purple, right? She loves purple so much that when in the third book, when she creates her superhero alter ego, she calls it Purple Lightning. That's how much she loves the color purple. Excellent job, everyone who guessed purple. Good job. All right, question 3. What sport is Marty really good at? They make a big deal of this in the first book because it involves a match between the 5th graders and the 6th graders. Gemma says baseball. Ruby says b-ball. What sport is it? Boxing, cricket. water polo, b-ball, basketball. The answer is basketball. That's right. Marty is really good at basketball, right? So much, in fact, that the third book, there's a big basketball game in the third book that you actually get to see Marty's skills, how good he is. All right, next question. What video game do the kids all play together? Ooh, what's the name of the video game that the kids all play together? This one's a tough one. It's a little more expert level because you can't really necessarily just guess at this one. You got to know the answers to this one. What's the name? I think Jim is trying to write Turbo Karate or Tuber Croat. It's going to be a different game. Ruby says Turbo Karate. Sheriff Turbo Karate. Yeah, that's right. So the answer is Sheriff Turbo Karate. That's their favorite game. And they're always trying to figure out a way. The second game that came out, and in the third book, they almost have their chance to get it, but something bad happens to every copy of Sheriff Turbo Karate. You'll have to get the book to find out what that is. All right. Question 5. Before getting solar power, where did Awesome Dog install his batteries? What part of his body did Awesome Dog install his batteries? Where did he install those batteries? In the TV? Let's see. Any other guesses? What part of his body? But what part of his body? What part of his body did he install? Gemma says neck. Says covers his belly. The answer is his belly. That's right. Ralph discovers the compartment and puts it in his belly for the batteries. And the batteries from the TV remote. From his mom's TV remote, and then he can't watch TV. All right. Question number 6. How many brothers and sisters does Marty have? Ooh, this one's tricky. You'd have to have read both books to know the answer to this one. We're getting a little more expert level questions. We got 2. We got Eric says 0. Jonah says 0. Any other guesses? The answer is 0. That's right. Marty is an only child. He does not have any brothers and sisters. That is correct. All right. Next question. In the first book, Awesome Dog blows up Dr. Crazy Brains. What planet is he sent to? What planet does Dr. Crazy Brains go to? Flies off into space and lands on what planet? This couple says Uranus. Mars. Guess for Mars. Any other guesses? The moon. All right. The answer is Jupiter. No points awarded for that one. He goes to Jupiter. All right. Next question. Question 8. In the second book, what does Mayor Bossy Pants build to celebrate himself? What does the Mayor Bossy Pants build to celebrate himself? Any ideas? What does he build? I think Jim's trying to write a cake. People? Is that what that is? A sculpture? Any other answers? Oh, Ruby says statue, and she is correct. A statue. The mayor builds a giant 50-foot tall statue in honor of himself. It's the same statue that he dismantles and turns into a robot suit to fight Awesome Dog at the end of the second book. Good job. All right, question 9. Where is the Zeros Club's secret hideout located? Where is it located? Where is the secret hideout located? Any guesses? No guesses? In the sky. One guess for the sky. Under the doghouse at Marty's house. Oh, that's correct. The hideout is under the doghouse. There's a secret room downstairs in the doghouse that has an elevator that leads to their hideout. And if you can see, actually in this picture, as I mentioned before, you can see the rock collection, the Abraham Lincoln rock collection, and Ralph's guitar, because he can play the guitar. All right, good. Question 10. Last one. Besides flying, name another one of Awesome Dog's super abilities. Ooh. Besides flying, what's another ability Awesome Dog can do? Owen, Miss Keppel and Owen say cannon. Any guesses besides cannon? He can see TV. Gemma says cannon. Anything else? Yeah, so he has a lot of stuff. So he can speak with his speaker. He has a search mode with his radar GPS. He has an attack mode with the cannon. He has his tongue can do wet kisses whenever he sees his friends. So he's got lots and lots of abilities. He can jump real high, can do all sorts of stuff. All right. So now the question is, who got 5 questions right? Put it in the chat like me or I did if you got 5 questions right. Anybody got 5 questions right? Nobody got 5 questions? At least 5? 5 or more. Let me rephrase that. Who got 5 or more questions right? Erica says she's got all 10. Ruby says she got 5. Oh, I better yet. In the chat, put how many questions you got right. So you can say, I got 5 right, I got 6 right, I got 8 right. We aren't sure. 5. Well, I tell you what. I think everybody did a good job. So now we'll do this. I'll tiebreaker question. Okay, and the person that gets the closest to this answer, will get the prize. Okay. All right. So in the chat, right. What was the tiebreaker? Oh yeah, tiebreaker question. In the first book, Awesome Dog interrupts Dr. Crazy Brain's birthday party in his mansion. How old was Dr. Crazy Brains turning on his birthday that day? What age was Dr. Crazy Brains turning? Person gets closest to his age will get the illustration. All right, everybody enter your answer now. Let's see, we've got, someone put 4. The name's not coming up. All right, so Ms. Keppel and Owen wrote 50. Erica wrote 49. Jim wrote 49. Any other guesses? Jim changed her answer to 50. 10,000. Oh, she changed it to 10,000. All right, the answer is 50 years old. Dr. Crazy Brain is turning 50 years old. It looks like Miss Keppel and Owen will be getting their very own illustrated Awesome Dog posters. Very cool. All right, excellent. That was so great. All right, so now for this next part, what we're going to do is I thought I could read 2 of the chapters from Awesome Dog Book 3. So I thought that would be fun. So let's here. All right, so I love that game. I love trivia games. Okay, so just to catch everybody up, what I'm going to be reading is, I believe, chapters 9 and 10 of the 3rd book. To bring everybody up to speed, what's happened up to this point. The Zeros Club, Marty, Ralph, and Skylar have started to become full-fledged superheroes, and they're celebrated in the town. And they give a big speech about how it's important to be a hero and help people. And a toy inventor, Tina Tinkerwith, sees this amazing speech that they give, and she becomes so inspired, she decides to rush home and make her own robot pet hero that can help people. All right, so here we go. Chapter 8. Let me see. I'm trying to, maybe it's not so bright. One second. Let's see if I can adjust the screen. That's still too bright. Can you, I don't think any of you guys can see the screen. Oh, there we go. Is that better? All right. Cool. Sorry, Gemma. Owen was answering. I would have gotten. Oh, no, Gemma, you did a great job. You did a great job. Great. All right. Okay. So here we go. Chapter 8. The perfect idea. Tina left the celebration early and went back to the workshop in her garage. She was eager to start making her robotic sidekick. She unrolled a fresh sheet of paper across her drafting table, sharpened a pencil, and set a fire extinguisher at her feet. She knew she'd have so many ideas the paper might ignite from the speed of her drawing. She dabbled the pencil lead to her tongue and began to sit there. Her mind was completely blank. Tina had the idea to make a robot sidekick, but no idea what kind of a robot to make. It was an awful case of inventor's block. She stared at the page for a long time, like a really long time. The sun went down, came up, then went down again. She was stumped for so long, she lost track of what day it was. She checked the date on her Cat of the Month calendar. Oh, my gadgets, that's it. Tina knew exactly what kind of robot to make. Of course, it's so obvious, she said. Tina furiously scribbled out a blueprint, slowing down only when her pencil started smoking. She gazed at her finished sketch with pride. The new sidekick prototype was going to be a robo-calendar. Maybe it's not that obvious, she said. Tina looked back to the cat calendar. She quickly revised her plans. The new sidekick prototype was going to be a robo-cat. Tina welded, and installed machine parts into a small feline frame. The prototype had a raw, finished look. The exposed section of the body plating and its eyes were 2 light bulbs. The crudely made RoboCat was programmed to be a helper bot and was equipped with an assortment of features. Tina wound the key on the cat's back and the motor inside rumbled. One of its eyes lit up. Tina gave a few bangs on its head until the second eye flickered on. Meow, meow, I am the Kittytron 1000. Your friendly robot assistant. How may I help you? Let's do a test run. I want to find some people we can help, said Tina. Meow, meow, launching Fleetron search, said the Kittytron. A slot on the back of its collar opened and deployed an army of microbots. They were no bigger than a speck of rice, each with 6 legs and a little blinking dot on its back. They were the Fleetrons designed to seek out any given target. Scattered off in every direction, and it didn't take long for them to radio back with what they had found. Meow, meow, Fleetrons have identified 3 possible targets to help, said the RoboCat. Tina put on her favorite Amazing Pup t-shirt and took the cat downtown. They were off to save the day. Chapter 9, the Kittytron Triple Play. Tina and Kittytron 1000 followed the Fleetron signal downtown to a trio of people with 3 unique problems. Across the street was a baby. A baby was crying. The dad was pushing the stroller, and he was holding an empty milk bottle. In front of the apartment high-rise, 4 movers were unloading a grand piano from the delivery truck. The piano weighed a ton and was difficult for them to lift. One of the movers said, "There's no way we're getting this thing up to apartment 815. That's on the 8th floor." At the curb, a timid old granny with a walker was waiting to cross the road. We have 1 with the dad, 2 with the movers, 3 the granny. Tina gave her orders. Kittytron, bring that baby some milk. Take that piano all the way up to apartment 815 and get that old woman to the other side of the road. Make it quick. Meow, meow, help mode activated, said the robot cat. The Kittytron fired its jump boosters. The cat crashed through the side of Walmart. It dropped into the dairy aisle, grabbed 2 gallons of milk, and then super bounced over to the crying baby and her dad. The Kittytron dumped both jugs of milk on their heads before leaping away to the delivery truck. The robot cat extended its claws and ripped the piano out of its hands. The Kittytron threw the piano at an open window on the 8th floor. The piano was too big to fit through and it shattered against the window frame. Finally, the Kittytron jumped over to the grandma. The robot cat raised its front legs and fired its yarn blasters out of its paws. Multiple balls struck the old woman in the back, pushing her across the street. Eek! Squealed the grandma. She thought she was being attacked. But this wasn't any typical grandma, though. She was Granny Nunchucks, the Kung Fu master. She ripped her wall apart and linked the metal bars together with her pearl necklace. She had crafted her signature weapon. The grandma cartwheeled toward the Kittytron. She rounded it out with a nunchuck uppercut. The robot's head spun backwards as it launched into the sky and dropped at Tina's feet. Tina surveyed the damage she had caused. A baby was doing the backstroke in a milk-filled stroller. Piano debris was scattered across the sky.
Oh, looks like we lost you, Justin. Hello. Sorry about that. Justin, looks like you got muted somehow. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, wait. Something's happening. Hey, everybody. Bear with us as we figure this out to finish up the end of that chapter. Not sure. As it goes for virtual events, sometimes these issues do occur. So we're going to work on getting Justin back so we can finish up that chapter and get your questions in at the end. So don't forget, you can ask a question using the ask a question at the bottom of the screen there. You can go ahead and put whatever you'd like in there for Justin to answer. And once we get him back, we will go ahead and get those answered. So I think we are in the midst of almost having him back. If you just don't mind holding on 1 second and seeing the person that you didn't come here to see, you're Vroman's host. So give us 1 moment and let's see here. And thank you. Okay. This is me just slowly, slightly clicking away. Skylar is my favorite, says Ruby. Yeah, what are we thinking so far about things? I'm waiting to see how that finishes up. Justin looks like he lost his connection completely, unfortunately, for the time being. So we'll go ahead and give it a few minutes here and wait for him to reconnect to us. And I will get him back on screen as soon as I possibly can. And Jill, I just want to congratulations on your win in the trivia. Well, I guess I should say Owen. Sounds like Owen is the one that did the heavy lifting on that one. But nonetheless, we'll make sure to coordinate and get your prize to you. Yeah, Ruby's got a good question. Who's everybody's favorite? You can throw that there in the chat. Oh, Gemma says Awesome Dog is her favorite. That's great. That makes sense. And Jill says thanks. Justin has been. Oh,
Sorry. My computer died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's running too much stuff. All of a sudden, this loud buzz came out of my computer, just goes, "Woo," and then it just turned black. I was like, "What?"
We were waiting in anticipation for the
Yeah,
finish of that
I
chapter.
love that I ended the last line was, and the worst part is, and then it just everything goes out.
Stopped, and I was like, "What?"
You have to buy the book to find out what happens next. I apologize to everybody. Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm glad we got you back to finish that off, and they were having to deal with just seeing my face and hearing me talk about the things. So, I think we're in better hands now that you're here.
Oh my goodness. Technology.
Indeed.
All right, well, I can just wrap this up super quick.
Okay, look.
Yeah. All right, so where were we? All right, so piano pieces right back. Worst of all, her robot sidekick was destroyed. Tina carried the mangled Kittytron to a dumpster in the alley. So much for helping out Awesome Dog. She was about to throw the kitty robot away when someone said, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." Tina turned around to see a man in a black cloak. In his right hand was a mechanical claw. Ooh. All right. If you want to find out what happens next, get the third Awesome Dog book, and you can find out what happens with the man with the mechanical claw and the black cape. All right. For the last part of this, I thought we could do a quick question and answer for the last 5 minutes or so. So if any of you have any questions, you can just put it in the chat, and I would love to answer it. If you have any questions at all. And if not, that's okay too.
And I'll be here too, just to see
Yep.
if anybody else, if anybody does. You can just pop them in the chat. You don't have to use the ask a question necessarily. We can all see it. Well, I'll ask one while we're waiting for people to ask questions. As you're now that you're in your third book in the series, are these like ideas that you've had this whole time for the series, or is it kind of like one builds off the other, and you're like, oh yeah, and that kind of makes sense from there, or is it like more of like a both?
Yeah. So when I was coming up with the book, I always envisioned it in I grew up loving comic books, and so I always wanted to create like a rogues gallery of every book was a new villain, but it upped the ante every single time. But to the point of like continuing the story is that each of the stories build on each other, and the villains are oftentimes the repercussions of the actions of the previous villains. So, for example, Mayor Bossy Pants in the second book becomes a villain because he's mad that everyone's paying attention to Awesome Dog because they spotted him in the first book. And so in the third book, Tina gets involved with the creating the Kittytrons because she's trying to be a hero like Awesome Dog is now celebrated as a hero. And so as it progresses, the actions that happen in the previous book always spur forward the villain. The motivation, at least. I'm an old school guy where I like the villains that have some real concrete revenge story that they have. Take over the world. Take over the world. I want them to have some real tangible Spider-Man hate that they want to get back at the hero.
Right. It's not just to see everything burn, but they've got something there.
Vindicate. Absolutely.
That's cool. So do you have does that if you're thinking rogues gallery here, does that mean that you have more rogues in your gallery that are left there to mine?
I would love to. Obviously, a lot of times with series like this, it just depends on how successful each book goes. So you can only lay so much road in front of you until you let people don't want it anymore. Then you're like, okay, that was the end. But yeah, the intention was always to have the series go to 9 books.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's the theory.
Cool.
And I've plotted out, how to get there. Obviously, it could be truncated if it would need to be, or extended if it need to be. But the plan was always to have 9 books to get the full arc of what the story would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Ruby says they want more, so
We want,
hopefully Ruby
all
is
right, that's
so
great.
so hopefully Ruby has a lot of pull within the publishing industry.
I
And
hope so. I hope so. Yeah. If the third book is successful, I would love to do the fourth book. The fourth book, if fingers crossed it ever got made, you'll hear it here first. The title would be Awesome Dog 5000 versus the Cursed Fifth Grade History Book, and
Ooh.
or it's a kind of a Halloween creepy story, and it's about how a history book gets possessed and starts creating evil versions of historical figures that run amok in the town. So Awesome Dog has to say. So that would the fourth book would be if it got made. I would love to write that story. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everybody buys the third book.
I would love to hear that story as well. So make sure everybody supports this and make sure that you're buying the book and telling all your friends too as well.
Yeah,
Because how do we
absolutely.
not want to hear about that? I love I love characters coming out from like history and things like that, and that's super entertaining. So
Yeah.
I would look forward to that. So just to make sure everybody that's tuned in right now, pop those questions in the chat while we have a couple
Yep.
minutes left, just to make
And
sure.
yeah, I also wanted to mention that anybody that buys the books of Warman, if you pre-order it or whatever, I will more than happy sign your book,
Awesome.
personalize it. So if you want to reach out to me, you can reach me at justinwritesbooks.com, and you can just drop me a line and say, I bought your book and I really would like you to sign it, and I can meet you at Vorman's and I can sign it there, or we can coordinate with Vorman somehow to get me signed copies. I can go down and sign a bunch of them, whatever.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would, oh man, that would be awesome. And I think the people here would love that as well. So, so if you would like your book signed, so make sure to click on that Buy Awesome Dog 5000
Yep.
versus the Kitty Cat Cyber Squad down there. And when you order it, if you order it online, I would always suggest if you want a signed copy, just go ahead and put signed in the checkout comments section on our website.
Yep.
When you order it, and then we can coordinate and we'll know some more from there. But either through that or through Justin, we'll be able to do it. Ruby is asking, who's your favorite character?
Who's my favorite character? Well, I like all the characters. Marty is a lot like me because he is a new kid in school, and so I kind of gravitate toward Marty. But I also like Ralph because he's he's very good-hearted, pure-hearted kid. Skylar's fun because she's adventurous. But my favorite character out of all the characters probably is the villains of each book, because the villains are always the best to write for, because you can go as crazy as you want and as wild as you want, and they can say absurd things and do absurd things, and there's no rules to what they do. While the heroes of the book, they have to conform to what a rational thing would happen. They can do, like in the second book, I thought it would be funny if Mayor Bossy Pants had a monster truck and he buys a bunch of copies of the magazine that features Awesome Dog, and he has all of his minions shredded up, and then he drives over it in his monster truck, and then he has them turn it into a shape of Awesome Dog. He drives over that as well, and so just the absurdity, you could just go be crazy with it. That's my favorite. Yeah. Jenna says dog or cat. I'm gonna say dog, because cats don't really care if you're there or not. Yeah.
Cool, excellent.
All right.
And I think that we got.
I think we're good. I want to thank you again. I want to thank Vorman's for having me. Thank you for everybody that sat down with me and did drawings and trivia games and listening to me read and stuck around while my computer died.
Yeah, nobody left. They all stuck around. Yeah,
good.
they were even as I rambled on the screen for a minute or two. So Justin, thank you so much. It was so fun, and it was really great to have an interactive event like this. And I think everybody can attest to how much they enjoyed it as well. So
in the future we can do this in person.
Would love that. Would love that so much to be able to get that cursed history book. Hopefully that happens, and then you'll be in store for that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. So everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for supporting Vromans and independent bookstores. Make sure to go ahead and click on that buy button there. You can also stop by the store. We have copies available. We are open. You can go ahead and our hours are slowly expanding more and more. So go ahead and visit romansbookstore.com for any and all more information as far as that goes and as far as our current health protocols. So Justin, once again, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And everybody else, have a great night.
I'll see you all.
All right. Bye-bye.